It's Madden NFL 23, and we'll see Tom Brady, after his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Bucs and the Saints on Monday Night Prime Time.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Tonight we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Bucs in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
The Bucs kicker Ryan Suckup about set, and off we go from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And here come the Saints about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
The first throw, here's Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 10 yards, good for his Saints. First down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays. Have them on the move on first down. Again, it's Kamara. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. On 2nd and 9, Winston. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, if I'm not mistaken. They gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Tampa Bay's offense set to take the field, and of course the quarterback, 23-year veteran who's had a Hall of Fame career several times over, the great Tom Brady.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week: 13 carries, 68 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Brady now on first down. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up second down. The Bucs add 8-3 now. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
To throw again on second down, Brady. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Throwing is Brady on third down. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down and close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Winston on 3rd and 2. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. These two teams, they met in Tampa earlier in the year with the Bucs prevailing in that one. So if they can win here in Tampa, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
Good footwork at the 30. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. And they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year not to take anything away from him. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Brady to Evans that time. 1st down, Tampa.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Looking Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady. He completes it to Evans. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Brady's throw complete there to Evans. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Fournette. Demario Davis there on the stop. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Brady. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Brady. Open man has got one. It's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line.
2nd down, back to Fournette. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 8.
Brady. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers have moved out in front. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Extra point put through by Sucker, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's Chris Godwin who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Winston. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's Blake Gillikin now. On the return, it's White. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And they will take over 1st and 10. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. Last drive, surgeon-like, dare I say, 7 for 7. That'll help your QB rating.
It will indeed, won't it? Can you figure out QB rating? Can you do it? Can you do the formula?
No, I just know the higher the number, the better.
Yeah, that's what I've been told,
That's what I know.
I know that in the NFL, 158.3 is the number they're all trying to get to. I think he was that on that last drive.
On second down, here's Fournette. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Here's Brady to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Fournette, a first down carry. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Brady. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Brady going to try and throw on third down. He completes it to Julio Jones. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now Brady. A pass underneath for Fournette. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. Yeah, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. Brady again here on 2nd and 10. They'll swing this out to Fournette. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Again, it's Brady. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And the Bucs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Brady now to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Kyle Rudolph. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And they are able to add on to their advantage. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Play action now. Winston. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Blake Gillikin on a punt here as he'll send this one away.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
The attention shifting back to Chris Godwin and the rest of the Tampa offense.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in his zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
On first down, Brady. Over the middle here to Rudolph.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Brady to throw again. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Succop's kick is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? He's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and that just enough to get it done.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up second down. Now Brady. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On play action, now Brady. And Brady, the tight end's got it. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Up the gun, Fournette. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right now, line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 6.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Man open, here is Jones. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Brady to throw on second down. Throw left side, complete. That's Evans. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Mike Evans from 17 yards out. And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point put through by Succop. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. suck-up on after the touchdown to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Steps up, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Vita Vea in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. To try again after the sack. Winston looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hardy. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
And here we go again with Tom Brady in Tampa's offense.
He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
He finds his target. It's Evans. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Brady.
And they try to set up the screen, but that almost disaster as it falls incomplete. Very nearly a turnover, but it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. White now to return.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Brady's throw taken in by Evans here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A handoff to Fournette. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 65 yards on the ground for him now, as he's done that on 15 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Fournette. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Brady. Evans has it left side. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw is Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Bucs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point up and good by Succa, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Winston. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down. Now Winston. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. On third down, Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot him right at midfield at the 50. That's going to bring up fourth down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. And this one is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's a give to Fournette. And some space here.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 90 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 40. The 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. And despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks. And you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Jameis to throw it. Eluding the press. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Vita Vea able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, have a game, sir, why don't you? A sack earlier and an exclamation point here late in the game. And this one won by his side of the ball. They played so well, surprised he didn't get his 2nd sack earlier.
Fourth down, Winston. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Buccaneers' defense holds, and they get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Fournette a first down carry, but he'll get only a couple before defenders are there to meet him.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up second.
Fournette once more on second down.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Marcus Davenport, his second sack of the night.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Landry now on the return. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Saints again ready to go on offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Only 3 there on the screen at second down. Winston. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted.
Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football.
And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. On first down, Fournette going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage as he'll wind up losing a yard on the play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down, back to Fournette.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Bucs, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move